Hi, I'm Ollie, and I travel the world in search of great food. For this series, I've come here to Italy to be inspired by Rome's most talented home cooks. I'm going to find out their secrets, and then head to the studio kitchen to cook an easy-to-follow recipe that even I can do. Today, I turn my salmon dish into a molecular masterpiece. There's an old Roman saying which goes, you shouldn't judge the quality of a dish by how it tastes, but by how good it looks on Instagram. And so today I've come to meet Loredana, who taught herself all about molecular cuisine. I can't wait to meet her and find out how to finish my dishes with flair.
Oh, you must be Ollie.
Hi, yes.
Nice to meet you.
Pleased to meet you. How did you know?
Because you're wearing a microphone?
Correct. This is an inauthentic meeting. So tell me, why did you want to meet me at the market today?
Because cooking today it needs some fresh products for the market.
Perfect. So where first?
First is buffalo mozzarella.
Great, let's go.
Il basilico mazzetto bello bello, eh.
Today we are cooking molecular caprese with buffalo mozzarella tartare and tomato spaghetti.
Okay, the spaghetti's made from tomatoes.
Yes, we have to take
Oh, I
the
see.
juice of mozzarella.
It's like you're milking the mozzarella.
Yes. It's cutted enough. Now we can add the lemon skin to marinate our mozzarella. Not salt because mozzarella is salty. And we can marinate in the fridge. Tomato juice. But we don't need seeds or internal part. We add basil and garlic.
Really, we're doing this just to infuse the liquid?
Yes. So we can put on fire to extract all the flavors.
And so this is now a super concentrated,
Yes.
super flavorful liquid.
Yes, it's important that it is super concentrated because we have to add water to hydrate agar agar.
So is it now time for the magic to happen?
Yes, now we have to add 3 grams of agar agar powder. And put on the fire 90-95 at maximum.
So using this agar-agar powder, turning something from a liquid to a jelly, I imagine you can be really creative.
Yes, in the past for Halloween I create a brain jelly. And also you can create pearls, and it's fantastic because you can close in the pearls, in the little pearls, a lot of flavor.
Sounds amazing.
Let me check.
I'm really worried that we've gone over 95 now.
No, we are not ready.
Okay, good.
80.
80, okay,
almost.
we're final countdown.
Yes. We can prepare our funny part. 2 syringe,
Okay,
2 little tubes
okay.
to create spaghetti. Thermic shock create the spaghetti and
Right.
mold the liquid. With 1 syringe,
Yep.
we take our liquid. We put the tube inside the very cold water and let sit.
The tube creates the shape and you're using the water to rapidly bring the temperature down.
Yes.
I am learning a lot because I've come to Italy and everyone's telling me, you know, true pasta is made with just flour and water.
Yes.
But you're telling me no, it can also be made with some silicone tubes, tomato, and some E-number ingredients.
With another syringe, clean, we inject air inside to take off our spaghetti.
Ridiculous.
Amazing.
I've never seen anything like it. Oh, look at that.
Oh, 3/4 of spaghetto.
I remember this from my school science class.
Yes.
What do you use this for?
For balsamic vinegar pearls. They are like a fake caviar.
Oh, okay. It sounds quite complicated.
No, it's not complicated. It's the very basic technique of molecular cuisine.
Okay.
Okay?
I think I'll keep this for future use.
To fry basil, we have to choose the best leaves.
I think this is a... Oh, look at that one.
Oh, yes.
And...
Oh, perfect. Good job.
Oh, thank you. And now...
And now be careful. Okay, now on the paper. Anchovy oil. Okay.
Looks amazing.
And it's very good and tasty.
You would be so happy if you were served this in a restaurant, wouldn't you? You would pay so much money for something like this.
Yes, maybe. But now it's free.
It tastes like incredibly rich tomato soup. That's full of flavour, isn't it? And I was almost expecting the taste, or rather the texture, to be kind of synthetic, but it's not. It has a really interesting mouthfeel. I mean, there's absolutely no way that I'm going to be creating dishes to this standard back in the kitchen, but I'm inspired to give something like this a go, to push myself out of my comfort zone and see if I can give molecular cuisine a go. Inspired by my trip to Loredana's molecular kitchen, I'm going to make a beautiful salmon teriyaki with a couple of Italian twists and some molecular flair. To start with, I'm going to make my teriyaki sauce. I'm going to take 100 grams of brown sugar. I'm then going to add this lovely Italian limoncello. Now this has 40% alcohol, but don't worry, it's going to burn off by the time we start cooking. So another 100 grams in there. So then we take this mix and we put it on a super low heat. And then to continue with the teriyaki flavor, I'm going to take some of this lovely ginger that I got at the market and let that slowly infuse. So you can see it slowly becoming like a syrup. We want the consistency almost as runny as honey. I've just taken the heat off, going to strain out all of the ginger. And then, once I've strained out my ginger pieces, I'm going to add this back to the pan, again keeping the heat very, very low. And to this, I'm going to add about 50 milliliters of light soy sauce. And then this, we're just going to let reduce down for another minute. Yes, lovely. Lovely limoncello is given a lovely acidity, very salty because of the soy sauce. Very nice teriyaki. So I'm just going to take this off the flame and store this ready to cool down and use later for the dressing. So my teriyaki sauce is now cooled down and ready to go. But rather than just cover the salmon in it like I'd usually do, I'm going to use a method that Loredana taught me, where I can make these small little pearls using agar-agar. Now to do so, I can't just use this as it is because it's too syrupy. I'm going to add exactly 45 milliliters of water. And so my teriyaki mixture is now nearing that magical 90 to 95 bracket. And so I'm going to be adding this, the agar-agar that was used in that amazing spaghetti I tried. So to this, I've got the 90 milliliters of liquid, and to that I'm going to be adding 3 grams of agar-agar. This part I know needs to be quite accurate. And then I'm going to add this straight in to this mixture, which is 93 degrees. So let's put that in and watch this turn to jelly. Just stirring to make sure all of the agar-agar is dissolved. Well, that's going to take around about 5 to 10 minutes to get ready. And so in the meantime, I'm going to prepare the oil. I think that should be enough. And in order for this reaction to work, I need to make sure this is super cold. So I'm going to take it to the freezer and let it cool for a short while. I'm now going to try and use this oil to form some beautiful little spherical caviar-shaped pearls. If I followed Loredana's method correctly, these will settle on the bottom and keep this beautiful shape. Now the pearls are in the fridge cooling, I'm going to start work on my sauce. I'm going to take a clove of garlic, then I'm going to chop it as finely as I can. The finer you can chop this garlic, the better. You can take your time doing this, but you want to end up with garlic no bigger than a grain of rice. Then I'll take a lemon, chop this lemon in half, take a pan and put it on a very low heat. And then straight into this pan, I'm going to juice half of this lemon directly. And once the juice is in the pan, we just need to leave that to simmer until the water starts to evaporate away. Once we do so, we're gonna add our chopped garlic directly into the pan. So I can just about see steam coming from my pan, which means that it's ready to add the chopped garlic. So I'll take no more than a teaspoon of garlic and put it straight in the pan to let that lemon juice evaporate away, leaving the garlic to bubble in the remaining juices. Then, keeping a low heat, we're going to just cover the bottom of the pan with some fresh cream. And then we're gonna leave that to simmer for 3 to 4 minutes until the cream starts to bubble. So what this is gonna do is let the garlic flavor completely infuse the cream, while at the same time making those little bits of garlic go so soft, you'll barely recognize they're there. So once we get to this stage where about half of the water has evaporated away, we're ready to add a generous knob of butter. I'm gonna slice the butter into small pieces so I can incorporate it evenly into my sauce. We're gonna keep this sauce on a low heat until it becomes so thick that it just about covers the back of a spoon. So with the cream sauce ready, it's now time to start on the salmon. To do so, I'm gonna take a nice heavy bottom pan and put this on a medium heat. Then I've got this beautiful salmon fillet from the market just down the road. And I'm gonna add, very, very simply, some sea salt. I'm gonna add a generous amount of olive oil directly to the salmon. Then once both sides are covered, I'm gonna add the salmon skin side down directly to the pan. And after 2 minutes browning this on the bottom, I'm just gonna turn them over and get a little bit of color on the other side. So once we've got a bit of color on both sides, I'm gonna turn the heat down to a low simmer and just add some asparagus to the pan, and then just 1 tablespoon of water and cover. By some miracle, this seems to have worked. I can see on the bottom of this jug. All I need to do now is strain the oil out, as if by magic. Just need to wash these pearls now to get rid of any excess oil. They're surprisingly robust. Well, I can't quite believe it myself, but using Loredana's simple method, I've managed to create these amazing little teriyaki pearls, which they taste just like that teriyaki sauce we made. Amazing. So now it's time to plate up the dish. Let's have a look at the salmon. Amazing. Absolutely beautiful. So I'm just going to take this off the heat, keep the lid on, and let it rest for 2 to 3 minutes before we're going to serve it. In the meantime, I'm going to bring my lemon garlic sauce back up to temperature, ready to put on the plate. So you can see it's kind of solidified into a kind of solid jelly, but just 30 seconds on a high flame will bring that back to life. Okay, and so the sauce is ready to go. I'm going to spoon some of this sauce into the center of the plate, using this circle to guide me. Then I'm just going to wait a couple of seconds for this to set before I carefully remove this ring. Then I'm going to take a spoon and with all my might, splat the center of the plate. Now a little bit of cleaning up to do, but before I do so, I'm going to serve this salmon. So it's been resting for a couple of minutes. Oh, look at that. Then I'm going to take a beautiful piece of the salmon, place it in the center of the sauce, and then for my finishing touch, take some of these teriyaki pearls on top. All that's left to do is add some asparagus, and that is my salmon teriyaki with a little bit of molecular inspiration. Sorry I dropped your dinner on the floor, or avant-garde presentation. You decide.